Question 12 says transportation increases the cost of groceries in northern communities. Of course it does, because you have to put fuel and all that kind of stuff, and it's not cheap to feed the dogs that carry the sled that drags the meat to the small little village at northern wherever. Does use the data about the cost of grocery items in Winnipeg and Little Grand Rapids to answer the questions. So 3 kilograms of bananas in Winnipeg is $4.98, but in Little Grand Rapids, it's $13.95. They're bananas. So give an example of a ratio. Well, I can give a ratio of comparing Winnipeg bananas, Winban, to Rapids bananas. And that could be $4.98 compared to $13.95. That's a ratio, not a rate. And I could do that for mini ravioli. I could do that to milk, or I could do that a whole bunch of different ways. That's just one example. Now, of a rate, what I would then have to do is compare the cost to another type of thing. Now, it can't be cost, it has to be another thing. In this case, we have weight, or mass, I should say, volume, and volume. So let's do one for ravioli. So a unit for a rate for your ravioli would be $2.29 for 720 milliliters. This is a rate, not a unit rate, but a rate. Okay. And I can make a whole bunch of different ones, but that's one, and I guess you guys get the idea of how I would do it. So hopefully I don't need to go over more examples. The last one says, what is the unit price for bananas in Winnipeg? Well, let's look at that. Bananas in Winnipeg are $4.98. Remember, I'm making a rate here compared to kilograms, so we have a money to mass comparison. So the unit rate would then be bringing that down to 1 kilogram, which I'd have to divide by 3 to get it down to 1 kilogram. That would tell me how much it is for 1. And $4.98. $4.98 divided by 3 equals $1.66. So it's $1.66 for 1 kilogram of bananas in Winnipeg. How about in Grand Rapids? Well, let's look at that. So it's $13.95 for the same weight, same mass, 3 kilograms of bananas. Divide by 3. My cost for 1 kilogram is, let's check. $13.95 divided by 3 equals $4.65 for 3 kilograms. $4.65. That's actually not that bad for 1 kilogram. What is the difference in unit price for the two communities? So how would I find the difference? Well, difference is a key word there. And mathematicians love that word because it tells them it's subtraction. So what's the difference between those two? Well, I take $4.65 and I subtract my smaller one, $1.66. I figure out how much of a difference there is between borrow, 9, 2. It's about $3 difference, or $2.99 difference in the cost for bananas.